Hello students, I am Arbit Gupta from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. Today we will start our first chapter, that is Nature and Purpose of Business. Before starting our chapter, let us understand the meaning of business. Business means to keep someone busy. If anyone get busy in any economic activities, it is called as business. Now, what is economic activity? Economic activities are those activities which are done for generating revenue or profit. If any activity is done with the motive of not generating any revenue, it is not known as business. If an individual wants to start his career, he has three options available with him. He can go for the business, he can go for the profession, or he can go for employment. Let us study these in detail. If an individual start his own business, he has to go through a legal formalities. If business is large, the formalities are also large, and if the business are small, then the formalities is also few. Nature of work depends upon the scale of business. Qualification: there is no minimum qualification required for starting a business. Reward or return: generally, the profit earned by the businessman is his reward. In business, it is not necessary that a businessman earn a profit. Even in initial years, businessman has to face a huge losses. Risk: profit is uncertain. We cannot say that if an individual start a business, he will incur a profit. He can incur a loss also. Next, we will talk about the profession. Generally, the mode of establishment is the professional body as established by the parliament. Nature of the work: expertise services as required by the professionals, and such services are provided to the clients. Qualifications and expertise trainings are required to give the professional services. Reward or return: it is generally a professional fees charged by the professional. Risk: fees is generally regular. If client comes to any professional, he will charge a fees, so there is very minimum risk. Next, we talk about the employment. Mode of establishment: the appointment letter which is given by the employer. Nature of work: as per the contract rules as prescribed by the employer. Qualifications: qualifications is generally prescribed by the employer, and if an individual possesses qualifications, he will get the job. Reward or return: it is his salary and wages. Risk: in employment there is no or zero risk, because even in case of losses, the employee get his salary. Now, business is classified into an industries and commerce. Industries are those which are involved in production of goods and services. So, industries are classified into three types, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary industries are those industries which are engaged in extraction of natural resources which are already available. Secondly, secondary industries are those industries which convert the goods and services and supplied such goods and services to tertiary industries. Tertiary industries are those industries which provided goods and services to the final consumer, that is, which provides the finished goods to the final consumer. Now, let us talk about the commerce. Commerce means sale and purchase of goods and services. Here, no manufacturing process takes place. Commerce is divided into two parts, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade means when the goods are sold in wholesale quantity or in retail quantity. Now, what is wholesale quantity? Wholesale quantity is generally a bulk quantity which is purchased by the wholesalers or the retailers, and the retail quantity is those quantity which is purchased by the consumer. Second, auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trades are those which help the business to supply the goods to the ultimate consumer. It may be warehousing, transportation, etc. We can see all these in the figures given below. Now, let us study about primary, secondary and tertiary industries. As we have already studied the primary, secondary and tertiary industries, primary industries are those industries which are connected with extraction and production of natural resources. That is, the resources which are already available, primary industries extract those resources. Secondary industries, these are concerned with using materials which are already extracted by the primary industries. Means these industries take the goods from the primary industries and produce the finished or semi-finished goods. Now the tertiary industries. Tertiary industries are those industries which provide services to the ultimate consumer. Let us take an example. When we purchase any bike from any showroom, we get free 5 services. Now that service will come under the category of tertiary industry. Now let us talk about the trade and auxiliaries to trade. It is retail or wholesale. Retail, when goods are sold to an ultimate consumer, and wholesale, when goods are not sold to ultimate consumer, when goods are sold to the wholesalers or to the shopkeepers. Now auxiliaries to trade. It may be an insurance, warehousing, banking and advertisement. Insurance, this protect the goods from any calamities, whether by fire, theft, etc. Warehousing, it is not necessary that when goods are produced, all the quantities are sold at the same time. So we have to store the goods and make available the goods when it is required. So for the time being, we have to store the goods in warehouse. Banking, capital is a main source of the business. So we have to arrange a capital from different sources. Bank is one of such sources which provide the capital to a business entrepreneur. Next, advertisement. Advertisement helps in the promotion of the goods. Through advertisement, consumer get the information about the goods. So all these comes under the category of auxiliaries to trade. Before starting the business, we have to consider the following factors, that is, selecting the line of the business. Which type of business we want to start? Whether we want to start a manufacturing business or we have to start a trading business. Second, the size of the firm. Our business should operate in a limited border, in a territorial border, or within an external boundaries, that is MNCs. Now after that, we have to select a choice of ownership, whether we have to go for the sole proprietorship, partnership or any other form of business. Next, we have to select the location of our business, that is, where the location of our business is, whether it has its registered office in India or abroad. Next, the financing position, whether the capital is arranged by the businessman only or he has to take the finance from different financial resources, that is from bank, from money lenders, etc. Now, physical facilities, how goods will be available to the final consumer. After that, we have to select the plant layout, that is, how our manufacturing unit will appear. After that, we have to select the competent and committed workforce, means which employees are important for us and which employees are not important for us, and who will participate in our goal orientation. After that, we have to plan for our tax structure. For every businessman, it is a duty that minimum tax should be imposed on him. So Tax planning is also very important. After selecting all these or choosing all these activities, we finally establish our business enterprise and commence our business activities. So, with this, I conclude my chapter. Thank you.